All right, so I got to give you a little bit on the Canes here. Now, I had a great weekend. I had a really good weekend. Recovering from being sick. I was able to get back out there a little bit. Watched a lot of pro wrestling, which was awesome. Again, it's still real to me. Go download the latest episodes. Like, comment, rate, subscribe. You know the drill. It's for the algorithm. Dolphins yesterday. We're going to get to the Heat in a second. Saturday, though, went to the Canes game. That's right. Went to the Canes game. Got my... Went to the Canes for my season debut. That's right. It's my season debut at Hard Rock Stadium. And this is a good opportunity now to welcome aboard another brand new sponsor. That's right. It's blowing up. ZASLOW Show 2.0. Everybody, let's welcome aboard Johnny Cuba. Johnny Cuba now, a major part of ZASLOW Show 2.0. We love you long time. Johnny Cuba, we're talking, it's a lifestyle, all right? European roots with a Caribbean soul. Let me get my hat here. Hang on. Look at this. Check this out. Let me put down the headsets. All right, here we go. Boom, baby. There you go. I got my Johnny Cuba hat. And here's what, see? Oh, that's a good-looking hat. Here's what we're talking about, all right? Saturday, I went to the Canes game. I was invited to come out. Juan, Myra, their entire family, beautiful family. Got all the kids. They loved it. His family loves the Canes. They love the Miami Hurricanes. Juan and Myra, the Johnny Cuba family, they invited me to come out. Along with my family, brought my wife, brought my older son. We went to the Canes game on Saturday night in the Johnny Cuba suite. That's right. And we were shown a great time. New sponsor, Johnny Cuba. Like I said, all right, it's a German lager in a can. If you're looking for the perfect beer, you're looking for the type of beer that makes you feel like you're back on the Caribbean, all right? Like I said, European roots with a Caribbean soul, Johnny Cuba. You can purchase it anywhere. Sedano's, Presidente, Winn-Dixie. So easy to get, all right? You head on out, you get yourself a six-pack. Holiday special, all right? Holiday prices right now for Johnny Cuba. Get yourself a six-pack of Johnny Cuba. Got great sale on six-packs right now through the end of the year, all right? It's a lifestyle, Johnny Cuba. I'm so excited to have them aboard here sometimes. Like right now, I want to finish up the show. I want to head outside. I want to sit by the pool, crack open a can of Johnny Cuba, and just feel like I'm back in the Caribbean, all right? And that's what we're talking about. So again, Sedano's, Presidente, Winn-Dixie. Had such a great time Saturday night, again, with the Johnny Cuba family. Juan, Myra, their girls, the boys, loved hanging out with it. Like I said, they love the Canes. They are huge sports fans. They showed my wife and I, my son, a great time. I want to go back. I mean, Juan, huge Canes fan, major supporter. And again, Johnny Cuba, lifestyle brand in the making. Their motto, stay tranquilo. Come on. That speaks to everybody down here, all right? Stay tranquilo. You can check it out on Instagram as well. They got a great presence there. And you want to make sure you stay tranquilo because more is brewing. Remember I said that, all right? Johnny Cuba, Sedano's, Presidente, Winn-Dixie. Make sure you pick up a six-pack. You think of me. I appreciate Juan and Myra, of course, for having us out the other night. And super excited to have Johnny Cuba aboard for the long term here, ZASLOW Show 2.0. Let's give it up to them. Look, that's a great looking hat. Oh my God, come on now. So again, love having those guys aboard and looking forward to a real long relationship with them. Johnny Cuba, European roots with a Caribbean soul. So the Canes game on Saturday night. Loved the company. Loved hanging out with Juan and Myra and their family. But the game was terrible. Oh, so bad. I mean, it's the worst Canes team of this century. Not bowl eligible. Yeah, 5 wins. And I know it's all, you know, you look at other first-year coaches. You got the transfer portal. There's no excuse for Mario to be making what he's making and to come in and for this team to be the worst Canes team of the century. I get that perspective. But if Mario sees there's something like that, like it is a poisoned football culture, and it has not been purged properly. And the only way to get to where they want to go is by purging this thing. And for it to be really terrible, for it to get really bad before it gets to a place where they're able to be competitive, then I think that's what Mario's doing right now. I'm willing, especially, look, it's year number 1, but I'm willing to give Mario the benefit of the doubt that they've been putting like Band-Aids, past coaches have been putting Band-Aids on a gash. And Mario Cristobal is purging this entire thing. He's been really open about telling everybody, yeah, there are kids that are not going to be asked back. They are getting rid of the poison, and they're going to bring in all that new blood. And they are really, for the first time in forever, probably for the first time since the late 90s, since those Butch teams, when they had to really hit rock bottom, they are getting rid of all of the garbage. Excuse me, I don't like talking about college kids like that, but you understand what I'm saying. They are getting rid of all of the poison, all of the garbage, and they are purging this entire thing. Listen to Mario Cristobal here. Here's a good example.
The reality is that this is what we do and what we're very, very good at. And that the starting point is what it is, and there's some really good foundation blocks that are already set. There's some really good players, a small core of players that are tough, that are talented, and that want to be really great. I thought Cam Kitchen said it best in the locker room as he left, called up everybody and told them how much he loved them, and that, we're going to get it done. And anyone that can't or doesn't want to be a part of that, move fast and get out the way. That's what it takes. That's what it's taken at Miami every single time. Every single time Miami's been rebuilt, or our last couple stops the exact same way. And that's what it's going to take. No fluff, no proclamations, no declarations, no tweets. Just got to get back to work and got to make sure that we continue to develop, fill the roster with the right people, high caliber, tough-minded guys, and make sure that we're doing the right things as coaches. We've got to take it together. You can't just put it on its entire as a program, starting with myself. That's what leaders are supposed to do. Own it, eat it, grow from it, and go get better. Miami will be a championship program.
So look, I totally get the Canes fan who sits there and says, this is unacceptable. You can't perform like this. You can't be embarrassed like this time and time again at home, and the coaches not take any blame. It's fair. I understand that criticism, but like I said, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt with a proven head coach, a guy who knows what the University of Miami is about, a guy who knows how to recruit down here, and he tells you in that clip, we know what we're doing here. This is what we're good at. And it really seems like those were, in the past, these were half-ass rebuilds. This is what an actual rebuild looks like. Do you wish it looked like some of these other schools that don't have to actually hit rock bottom before they get back in the right direction of where they're supposed to go to be a national championship contender? Yeah, but it's only year number 1. I'm willing to trust that this is the plan, because everything else that they've done in the past, the last several head coaches, it's only gotten you so far, and it's led you back to the same place every time. So the performance on the field is super unacceptable, but I'll also say, like I was talking to my guy Juan, all right, Johnny Cuba. I was talking to Juan, and he goes, what's going to happen next year? And listen, can't get worse. It's only going to get better. And you probably want to be there. If you're someone who's thinking about renewing your tickets or that kind of deal, you probably want to be there for when it starts to get better. So I'm willing to give Mario Cristobal a huge leash. And you heard right there, they got a few kids that are foundational players. This is what Robert talked about with us a couple weeks ago. Only a few foundational players. So they're getting all the poison out. The kids that don't belong there, they're not going to be asked back. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's super embarrassing and really tough to watch right now. But I got no problem. Like, Chris Watt doesn't skate criticism, but I'm willing to see what he does over the next couple years, especially going into next year and see the difference from year 1 to year 2, getting in the type of kids that he wants to bring in here. So there you have it. Wanted to give you a little bit on the Canes there. but not bowl eligible. Like, that's it. 5 wins. Terrible. And the crowd, oh, man, just a brutal crowd. What do you expect? You know, like, I know I talk about it a lot. No one talks more and shows up less than the Canes fan, but that's a tough product to support. There was no one there. It's difficult. It's senior night, too, and it was a rough crowd, which emptied out at halftime. So, anyway, thanks again, Johnny Cuba. You want to make sure you go on out, like I said, Sedanos, Presidente, Winn-Dixie. Stay tranquilo. More is always brewing with Johnny Cuba. Get yourself a 6-pack, all right? Great sale prices on 6-pack cans right now through the end of the year. Refreshing German lager. We're talking European roots with a Caribbean soul. Johnny Cuba, that's my new beer. It's ZASLOW Show 2.0's new beer. Thanks again to Juan and Myra, their beautiful family, for inviting us out. Happy to have them part of the program for a very long time. So, let's get into some Miami Heat basketball. How you love that? The Heat with a 3rd consecutive win yesterday. Best road win of the year. It's only their 2nd road win of the year. Best road win of the year. They win yesterday in Atlanta. A game they trailed for the entire first half. And then the second half, it was all Heat basketball. Bam yesterday, 32 points, 13 of 20. Still no Jimmy Butler. Tyler Hero's 2nd game back. You could see he's still kind of working himself in. But how about in a game where Tyler, I think, was 0 for 8 from 3 yesterday? How about his first career triple-double? That's how you impact the game. When you're not shooting the ball well, can you still impact winning? I'm like an extension of the coach. 11 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists for Tyler Hero. And Caleb Martin, let's talk about Caleb Martin for a second here, man. 20 points, 9 rebounds. Caleb Martin is a perfectly acceptable starting player on this team. That was the big question mark going into the season, right? Well, Caleb Martin right now, how about Caleb Martin on the season? 11.5 points, 49% shooting, 41% from 3, and he's a good defender. Losing PJ Tucker, needing to trade for Jay Crowder, no, that's not the reason this team is that's not a problem for this team right now. Caleb Martin is more than capable. This team just needs to get healthy. I mean, you look at the depth on this team right now, and guys are doing a nice job. But, Haywood Highsmith, Jamal Cain, Drew Smith, these guys, you're only going to go so far. Jimmy needs to get back, and I don't even know what to tell you about Victor Oladipo. And then Duncan Robinson as well. You want to have that extra shooter on the bench. But there is nothing wrong with Caleb Martin as a starter for this team. He has been a great surprise. He was excellent yesterday. 18 of his 20 points coming in the second half. The biggest story, though, recently is Bam. The Heat have won 3 in a row. The Heat are now 10-11. And I understand 2 home wins against Washington, even though they were fun games. And then yesterday at Atlanta is a really good win. But the story right now, and this is something that you're hoping is going to wind up benefiting from this really slow start and dealing with injuries, is the play of Bam Adebayo. It's funny, man. For a guy who people talk about, does not have an offensive game. Guy averages 21 points per game on the season for not having an offensive game. It's not like he's out there, 12, 13 points per game. For no offensive game, he averages 21 points per game. Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And Bam with 32 points yesterday, 13 for 20 shooting. How about the last 2 games? The game before that, 38 points, 12 rebounds, 15 of 22. Last 2 games, Bam is 28 for 42 and 14 of 14 from the free throw line. It's a pretty good sign. And when I say pretty good sign, it's a pretty good sign meaning Jimmy Butler ain't going to be the man forever. And Bam isn't going anywhere. Bam's going to be here for a long time. And Bam is showing you he could be a number 1 option. He can be, now maybe that's the frustrating part where, hey, Bam, we know you could do it, man. Go do it. I understand that frustration. 38 2 games ago, 32 yesterday, super aggressive, attacking the basket. That's the big takeaway from this 3-game win streak right now, all of which, of course, without Jimmy Butler. We're not doing hashtag better without Jimmy. That's not true. But that's the big takeaway right now. All without Jimmy Butler, as Bam has been capable of carrying this team. He was freaking awesome a couple games ago against Washington. He was freaking awesome yesterday at Atlanta. So I think that's a great sign for the future. The Heat are back in action. Let me see. Oh, yeah, Wednesday at Boston. Ooh, it's tough. That's tough. So Wednesday at the Celtics, the Heat will look for a 4th consecutive win. The Florida Panthers, man, super frustrating for me right now. The Panthers, what was it, Friday night? I think it was Friday night. No, it was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday. Wow, it was 5 days ago. The Panthers, okay, they beat the Bruins. Actually kicked the shit out of the Bruins, 5-2. They were 17-2 going into that game, Boston. And you say, all right, hey, maybe this is a jumping off point. Bruins, best team in hockey. Panthers beat the hell out of them. And it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Where Saturday night, you're at home against a Blues team that's struggling. Panthers were up 3-0. They were up 4-1 in the third. They lose 5-4 in overtime. Very frustrating. This Panther defense sucks. And you know what? We're going to talk to Ed Jovanovski this week. All-time great Panther defense. I got a lot of questions about the defense to ask Eddie. So we're going to get Jovanovski on at some point this week, and we'll do a little bit of that. But the Panthers, they begin a road trip tonight, a Canadian road trip tonight. They are in Edmonton this evening. I think it's a 9:30 start. These teams are good. Edmonton, Calgary is a tough stretch. So the Panthers, like I said, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Super frustrating. They had no Sasha Barkov on Saturday night. Spencer Knight gives up a 4-1 third period lead. Otherwise, he's been really good. And that's really frustrating, man. So Saturday night, between the Panthers blowing that lead, the Hurricanes, terrible. I mean, thank God I had Johnny Cuba. That saved the night. But anyway, that was my Saturday night. I do want to make mention real quick, by the way, yesterday, and you can watch some games with me too going forward if you want. Yesterday, thanks again, Briny Pub, Briny Irish Pub in Pompano. BrinyPubPompano.com. You can go check out. They got live music, drink specials. We watched the game yesterday. My man Joey from It's Still Real to Me came with me and my son. We went out there. Adam and Alan setting us up there. Oh my God. Cheesesteaks. We had fish and chips. We had drinks. You got the NFL Sunday ticket. Again, BrinyPubPompano.com. Appreciate them hosting us yesterday. They're a new sponsor. Debuted last week, but still, love them long time. We give it up for the Briny. And you go head on out to BrinyPubPompano.com, where Atlantic meets the Atlantic. I love that spot. Great place to watch Dolphin games. Great place to watch the NFL, as they have the NFL Sunday ticket. All right. So, you know how we wrap up every show. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow, doing the show tomorrow, leading up to the World Cup, U.S. and Iran. The U.S. played so good, by the way, on Friday against England. Stinks they couldn't get the result they wanted, 0-0 draw. But the U.S. played great, and hopefully that leads to a win tomorrow against Iran. Otherwise, the U.S.'s World Cup is over in match play. So tomorrow is a pretty damn huge day. All right. You know how we wrap up every show. Is it a big deal or is it not a big deal? All right. First up, I don't know if you saw yesterday, but the Washington team, this year they're called Commanders. They unveiled yesterday a Sean Taylor statue. That's right. A tribute to Sean Taylor, all-time great Miami Hurricane, was on his way to being an all-time great National Football League player. Sean Taylor, they unveiled a statue in like the team store. And when they take off the drape, it's a mannequin with a Sean Taylor jersey, no arms, no face. It's got the helmet, but there's nothing underneath. It was this pathetic looking mannequin to honor Sean Taylor that was supposed to be a statue. You know, this is not a big deal. I'm going to say, Zaz, how can it not be a big deal? This is not a big deal because this is par for the course of that franchise. Like, what do you expect from this franchise? You got the Sean Taylor family there, and they unveil this mannequin when it's supposed to be a statue? It didn't even have arms. That's a disgrace. But it's not a big deal because this is kind of what you expect from that Washington franchise. All right. Number 2, big deal or not a big deal? So Argentina, we're in Argentina house. We're United States first, but we're also in Argentina house. My wife's family's Argentinian. We love Leo Messi. All right. And Leo Messi was seen after the win last week. He scored what ended up being the game-winning goal. They won 2-0. But he was seen in the dressing room after the game. He may have been kind of wiping his feet standing on the Mexican jersey. I don't know if it was Mexican flag, Mexican jersey, but this made some people very angry, including the great Canelo Alvarez. That's right, the boxer Canelo Alvarez, he saw this and he went out on Twitter and he was very angry, tweeting out, Messi should ask God that I don't find him. Whoa, that's Canelo Alvarez. Messi should ask God that I don't find him. That's a big deal. I don't want Canelo Alvarez searching for me. I don't want to have to look over my shoulder, if I'm at some type of Mexican event and wondering if Canelo Alvarez is there because he's telling me that I should ask God to keep Canelo Alvarez away from me. This is very this is a tough situation for Leo Messi. You don't want to cross a guy like Canelo Alvarez. So I'm going, that's a big deal right there. You don't want to make that guy upset. Big deal or not a big deal? Rumors out there of Leo Messi to Inter Miami. I'm going not a big deal because we've heard these rumors over and over. Now, I don't know if you know, I'm an inaugural season ticket holder for Inter Miami. So this would be amazing. But we've heard these rumors that apparently after the World Cup, he's going to sign with Inter Miami. He's going to become the highest paid player in MLS. I'll believe it when pen goes to paper. You know how it is with these soccer rumors. There's a lot of stuff out there. You don't know what's true. So I would love to see it, but I'm going not a big deal because I'll believe it when I see it. Finally here, big deal or not a big deal? Lamar Jackson. Yesterday, the Ravens, they blew a huge lead. Jaguars, touchdown drive, 2-point conversion, boom. Ravens dropped to 7-4. Lamar Jackson, he wasn't great, but whatever. You had a fan who tweeted out that they should let Lamar Jackson walk. You can't pay him $250 million guaranteed when these games keep coming down to Justin Tucker winning you the game. And you know what? I think it's a fair criticism. Justin Tucker attempted a 67-yard field goal. It came up short. Justin Tucker usually is money, but he's had to win the Ravens a lot of games. That's a fair point. If you're going to pay $250 million guaranteed to the quarterback, should so many games come down to the kicker, I think it's a totally fair criticism. Well, Lamar Jackson, he responded here. And this is at 5:46 p.m., so this is like an hour and a half after the game, I guess. Or maybe it was like an hour, because I think the game was actually delayed because of lightning. But Lamar Jackson saw the tweet and responded with, boy, STFU. That means shut the F up. Y'all be capping too much on this app. Mother F never smelt a football field, never did shit but eat bleep. And, eat, rhymes with ick. So the first thing I would say is you got to stay off Twitter after you lose an emotional football game, which Lamar Jackson clearly did not. And you probably shouldn't be telling fans, oh, by the way, it's a completely fair point the fan made, but you probably shouldn't be telling fans to eat a bleep. It's not the best look. So, we like Lamar Jackson down here, of course. We like him a lot. I hope he gets paid. All right. Seems like a really great dude whose emotions got the best of him right there. So this is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but the overall point that the fan was making, it's probably something that the Ravens think about. So overall, though, I'm going not a big deal. And that right there is another edition. A big deal or not a big deal. Excellent show by everybody involved today. I want to make sure I thank our new sponsors again. Of course, Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys, 800-747-3. It's 800-747-FREE. That's 3733. You're dealing with any kind of personal injury, car accident, slip and fall, motorcycle, bicycle. You call my guys, Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys, Mark Anidjar, Glenn Levine, Ellie Anidjar. Those are my guys right there. They believe in me from day number one. Title sponsor from day number one of ZASLOW Show 2.0. Also, the Briny debuted with us last week, and 3 new sponsors debuted today. Doctors on Call 365, doctorsoncall365.com. Have Dr. Alon come to your home and check you out. Oh my God, the convenience. Johnny Cuba, they're on board as well. Make sure you pick up a 6-pack. Sedanos, Presidente, Win-Dixie, stay tranquilo. And of course, Brunt Insurance and Financial Services, bruntinsurance.com. Make sure your home is protected. You need car insurance as well. I'm a customer, all right? And I'm sending you to bruntinsurance.com. Again, thanks to everybody involved in putting together a great show today. Great job by all of you. Download, subscribe, like, rate, comment on the show. I love you long time. We'll talk to you on ZASLOW Show 2.0 tomorrow. You know what that means.